guys, welcome to Post where I go through the top 20 books that I want to read in 2023. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. In general, this list is books that are from authors I've already read. There's authors that have like series I haven't read that started last year, even before, or they're books in series that I am currently reading that have, new books coming out. Hopefully that made sense. So I did my top 10 new to me authors to read, and that generally includes authors I haven't read yet. This one is authors that I have read. I just have other stuff I'd like to read by them. And a lot of times, because I focus on books that are coming out new, I don't get to go back to some older series by authors I like. All right, so getting into the list. The first book on the list is Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. I was a big fan of Alexandra Bracken's Brightly Woven book, which is quite old at this point. She also wrote, I think it was Rampant, which was the unicorn one. I wasn't as big of a fan of that one, but I think that was her. I am very excited to read Silver in the Bone. I did get this for review, so I will be reading it, before it comes out. The second book on the list is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I've read a couple of Jemison's series and enjoyed them. I think the Inheritance trilogy, I wasn't a huge fan of the last couple books of it, but I have liked, the Great Cities duology and some of her other stuff. So The Fifth Season, that's probably her most, I forget what the name of the whole series is, but that's probably her most popular series, and I have not read it, so I'd really like to read that this year. All right, the third book on the list is The Raven Spell by Luann G. Smith. I actually read The Vine Witch by Smith and enjoyed it, but didn't love it. And I got this for free with Amazon First Reads, and I would really like to go ahead and start reading this. I believe the third book comes out this year. I think it's a trilogy, and so I'd like to get that read. Fourth book on my list is Sea Sparrow by Kristen Cashore. Kristen Cashore is an amazing writer. Every time I go back, she has been releasing her books in this... I'm like the name of the series now. Something Kingdoms. Anyways, she's been releasing these with very long intervals in between. But every time I pick one up and read it, I think it was Bitter Blue, and then I can't remember what the most recent one was before Sea Sparrow. I'm just amazed. She's such an awesome epic fantasy author. And I know Graceline was the first book, and that was okay, but she's just gotten better and better the more she writes. So very excited to read Sea Sparrow. That is mainly on the list because her books are long. There's a reason it takes her so long to write them. And I tend to kind of shy away from that a little bit because I am trying to make content for my blog as well, where I review a lot of books. And if it's a really long book, it takes me a really long time to read it. All right, fifth book on the list is one that I found when I was looking for novellas to read last year while I was studying for the patent bar. And that is Nightshades by Melissa F. Olson. I had read some of Melissa Olson's urban fantasy and enjoyed it, and I didn't realize that she had written this novella series. I think there's 3 books in it, and I would really like to pick up the 3 novellas in it, the first of which is Nightshades. All right, sixth book on the list is The Last Stand of Mary Goodcrow, which is the first book in the Crystal Calamity series by Rachel Aaron. I'm a big fan of Rachel Aaron. She's done some really interesting things, and I had not realized until recently that she started a new series. This is available on Kindle Unlimited, which makes it easy for me to pick up. So I would really like to start reading that so I don't get too far behind on that new series. Book 7 on the list is The Bone Shard War by Andrea Stewart. This doesn't come out until April. It is the third and final book in the Bone Emperor, the Bone Dot, or something like that. I should have written down all the series. I did for most of them, but some of them I missed. Yeah, so I really liked the first book in that trilogy. I thought the second book was pretty good, but I'm looking forward to see how it all wraps up. Because it's a fantasy series. It's about people use these shards of bone to pull power to fuel their magic and stuff like that, and they can build things out of bone and animate it, and very well done. All right, eighth book on the list is The Midnight Kingdom by Tara Sim. This is the second book in the Dark Gods series. This doesn't come out until August. Again, I'm a big fan of Tara Sim, and I did read the first book in the Dark Gods series and thought it was good. I gave 4 out of 5 stars, and I am planning on continuing the series. Ninth book on the list is Backpacking Through Bedlam by Shauna McGuire. This is the 11th encrypted book, 11th book in the encrypted series. This has just been a really fun urban fantasy series. The more recent books have followed Alice, which involves a lot of like parallel reality, interdimensional realm hopping. And the last one, book 10, was really, really good. Alice was a fantastic character to read about, so I'm very much looking forward to reading book 11. And that, I already have that for review. I don't think it comes out till like February or March though. Book 10 on my list is Heavenly Tyrant by Zhenjie Zhao. I probably said that wrong. This is the second book in the Iron Widow series. It comes out in August. August must be a big month. So the Iron Widow series is kind of like a Pacific Rim giant mech robot series. It was really well done. I really enjoyed a lot of the concepts there and the characters. Really looking forward to seeing that come out. That's one I'm most excited about for this year. All right, book 11 on the list is one that's completely different from any of these other ones, and that is Old Man's War by John Scalzi. I'm a big John Scalzi fan, but I've never read his Old Man's War series, so I would like to start that and get that read. Number 12 on the list is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I read Cloud Cuckoo Land in 2022. Absolutely loved it, so I would definitely like to read another Anthony Doerr book this year. I do know that it was a long book and it took a little bit of concentration to read, so I'm not going to put a ton of his books on my list, but I really would like to read All the Light We Cannot See. Number 13 on the list is The Peach Keeper by, The Peach Keeper by Sarah Addison Allen. I have been on a quest to read all of Sarah Addison Allen's books. I don't know why I can't say that. She wrote Garden Spells, which I really loved, the whole like Waverly Family series, and I've been trying to go and read like her one-offs. In general, her one-offs haven't been as good as the Waverly Sisters series, but they have been good, and I think this is one of the only books I haven't read of hers, so I've had it on my list for a while, and I just keep never getting to it. Number 14 on the list is Mina Wentworth and the Invisible City by Malcolm Brooks. This is the only Iron Seas short story novella I haven't read, and I keep putting it on my list and I keep forgetting about it. So it's on a list, so I read it and I'm done with the Iron Seas series finally because I haven't read anything in for a while. Number 15 on the list is Come See the Living Dryad by Theodora Goss. I'm a big Theodora Goss fan, and I'm trying to catch up on some of the stuff she's released that wasn't like full-length books. So I think this is in her novella. Yeah. Number 16 on the list is Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. I think I said that right. Nnedi Okorafor wrote the Binti series, which I read this year and really, really enjoyed. So I wanted to pick up another novella by that author. I believe it's a novella by that author. Number 17 on the list is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm a big Jennifer Lynn Barnes fan. I am way behind on a lot of her books. The Inheritance Games people, I think it wrapped up this year, so people have really been loving it, and I like to read that. My understanding is that's like a young adult fantasy. So I guess we'll see. Number 18 on the list is The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross. I've read other Rebecca Ross books. I can't remember what the name of them were, but this is a fantasy I really did want to read, so it's on the list. Number 19 on the list is Cursed Luck by Kelly Armstrong. I'm a huge Kelly Armstrong fan. I believe this is a new series she's starting. I have not read it. I think it came out in 2022, so I would like to make sure I stay on top of that one. And then the last book on the list is The Catalyst by Sarah Beth Durst. I am also a big Sarah Beth Durst fan, and there's a lot of her middle grade novels I haven't read. And honestly, since my son is a teenager, he's almost 16 now, I haven't been reading as much middle grade. I read a lot when he was younger. I still enjoy it. I just don't read it as much. So I would like to start making my way through some of Durst's like middle grade novels. So those are the top 20 books I want to read this year. I know it's kind of a mix of like new releases and old books and everything in between. But I would definitely like to get those read. I'm going to set my goal this year to 150, I think. So I read between 150 and 200 books a year usually, so I can definitely fit these 20 in as long as I don't slow down my reading for some reason. I mean, even with my whole patent bar still thing, I think I still read over 150 books in 2022. So I don't see that slowing down at any point, so it should be pretty easy for me to get these done. And I'm surprised. I'm looking at the timer on my video. I got through all 20 in about 10 minutes, so yay. Please comment down below if there's any books you're really looking forward to in 2023. I'm always looking for new books to read. And with that, I hope you're having a wonderful start to 2023 and enjoying your first couple of weeks of work. I am filming all these videos during winter break. We are finally going to get a break in the weather here. We had very cold Christmas. We have quite a bit of snow as well. That doesn't really stop anyone in Minnesota from doing anything. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking on Christmas Eve because it was incredibly icy on the roads and the winds were whipping at like 50 miles per hour, which kind of slides your car around. But we did all of our Christmas Eve activities without any mishaps and went on to do a whole bunch of stuff on Christmas as well. So I'm very excited to just not be doing anything for a few days here. Yeah, it's going to be super nice here. It's supposed to hit 40s by the end of the week between Christmas and New Year's, so I'm hoping that'll at least melt the ice off the roads. The only issue with that is it starts to melt the snow too, which it melts on the roads, which then will freeze again and make it icy anyway. So sometimes you just can't win. All right, I'm gonna stop blabbing. I hope you guys have some great books planned to read in 2023 and that you have a great week of reading ahead of you. I'm posting this on a Wednesday. I think I will have a stack in the shelves on a Saturday following this, so I will talk to you then. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.